All right. Welcome back. Hope you all are having a wonderful Friday. We all getting ready for this weekend. Hope you all are staying safe and ready at all times and staying positive. You know, I always try to stay positive because these are rough times right now. This is an ugly world, especially when you deal with the dog world. But we're here and things are getting better. You only have one life to live, so we should enjoy it. Now, I invited a few people to this live stream, so I don't want to waste too much time. But as always, big shout out to you all for joining. Very much value your support. But I ran across this article today. It was published, when was this published? 10/25, okay, 3 days ago. And this media outlet is upworthy.com. Title, Pit Bulls are being freed from their bad reputations and returning as America's top dog. Subtitle, It's a Great Time to be a Pit Bull. By writer Jacalyn Wetzel. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. Jacalyn Wetzel. Again, this was published 3 days ago. And of course, she has a photo of a worthless mutt. Now, in this article, there is a lot of babbling. There's a lot of babbling. So I'm going to try my best to spare you the babbling. I highlighted the things I want to respond to. Now, she is a writer, licensed clinical social worker. Check that out. And a mother of 4. Says she has a passion for social justice and mental health. Well, that is right up my alley. Now, what did she write in this article that upset me? Well, the first thing she started with is that pit bulls score really well on the temperament test, landing at 87.4%. Right? Not far from golden retrievers. But as several of you have pointed out, really one particular person pointed out that pit bulls have different standards. It's not a breed neutral testing. Pit bulls have different standards. But aside from that, it's still irrelevant. It's irrelevant when you have 6% of the dog population responsible for 65-70% of deaths, responsible for virtually 100% of severe maulings, then how they score on a temperament test is irrelevant. They're out here mauling and killing and mutilating people at an alarming rate where they're almost exclusively responsible for severe mutilations. Why should we care about some stupid, goofy test? Your test is not being seen in reality. This test that you claim they do so well on, it's not reflected in reality. In fact, reality tells us the exact opposite. So why keep bringing this up? It's stupid. And it makes you sound dumb. And this is why I titled this video the way that I did. What is wrong with pit bull lovers' brains? And I'm not being sarcastic. It seems like something is wrong with their brain. And they just don't get it. What are you confused about? Pit nutters, what are you confused about? Okay? So, seeing that pit bulls dominate attack statistics, and in several areas, probably the whole country, they lead in attacks in general, bites in general. But it's irrefutable that they lead in fatalities and they lead in severe maulings where people are hospitalized for several days. Again, we had one doctor say 100% of patients hospitalized 7 days or more were attacked by pit bulls. The doctor said it, not me. So please stop with this stupid temperament test that they supposedly do so well on. And in response to the title of this article, no, pit bulls are not being freed from their bad reputations. What are you talking about? They were just banned in Gazabad, banned in South Africa. We've had viral stories. Jacalyn Duran, Brooklyn Curry, the two babies that were recently killed, the Amazon driver that was killed. What are you talking about? What is wrong with your brain? Are you not paying attention? Now, if you're not keeping up with dog attacks, don't write about it as if you're some type of expert. She continued. She said, pit bulls have essentially been victims of a half-century long smear campaign that they didn't sign up for. Okay, how on earth did you prove that what we say is a smear campaign? How did you prove that? Pointing out statistics and doctor reports, that's not a smear campaign. What are you talking about? When I scroll through fatalities, dog bite fatalities, it has nothing whatsoever to do with a smear campaign. You're just pointing out what you see. When I quote these doctors, they're filling us in on the facts. If you want to call that a smear campaign, I'm going to label you a liar. And you're the one on the smear campaign. You're the one trying to con the public. Anybody who ignores facts, statistics, and expert analysis, especially when you're talking about doctors. Doctors are the experts of experts. And keep in mind, we're talking about injuries. Nobody better qualified to tell us about that than doctors. What is wrong with these people's brain? Why don't they understand simple things like this? This is not complicated. It's not a smear campaign. She goes on. These extremely affectionate dogs. Now, wait a minute. Are you talking about all of the pit bulls, aside from the ones that have been ripping people's face off? Or are you conveniently ignoring all of these attacks? And if so, how could you? That's just an irresponsible and reckless thing to say in general, especially seeing that they lead of all other breeds in several categories. She said they are the product of crossbreeding bulldogs and terriers. Look at this. Now, look at this. Look at what she wrote. She said they're the product of crossbreeding bulldogs and terriers for the purpose of capturing and restraining livestock. What? What was that? She said pit bulls were bred to capture and restrain livestock. People, as we all know, they were bred to kill, to fight bulls. And she described that as capturing and restraining livestock. So already you know you're dealing with a con artist here. They all have to lie in order to promote these things. Then she goes on. She said, of course, eventually, some not so nice humans decided this breed could serve as a money-making endeavor and began to breed them to fight and train them to be aggressive, though those traits are not inherent. What? What? After pit bulls were bred into existence, she says they later on were bred for a different purpose. She said they could serve as a money-making endeavor and began to breed them to fight. Ma'am, they were already bred to fight. When they bred pit bulls into existence and they were, as you put it, capturing and restraining livestock, at that moment in time, they were already bred to fight. Aggression had already been bred into them after they had been bred into existence. Do you understand that? That's not complicated. You should not be confused right now. And that is an outright lie. They did not go from breeding them to fight bulls to carrying out a different type of breeding process for them to fight other pit bulls. They simply put them in the same enclosure and let them fight. They didn't have to train these things to do nothing. They had already been bred to be aggressive. To the point, all you got to do is sit them in front of each other and they will fight. It did not take any special training or manipulation from people after they had been bred into existence. Do you understand that? I'm sure many of you don't. You're still sitting there looking dumb, scratching your head. I can't believe articles like this are even written. Wow. How about that? Train them to be aggressive, as if they were not bred to be aggressive. Look, she said they began to breed them to fight and train them to be aggressive. So you're saying that they wasn't trained to be aggressive when they were capturing and restraining livestock? So they were not using aggression to do that? This is fascinating. People's logic and how they come up with these different talking points and arguments, it fascinates me. Wow, really? Are you having that much of a hard time understanding this information? She says basically, pit bulls are much like any other dog. If you train it to be aggressive, it will do what it's trained to do. No, ma'am. They were bred to be aggressive. You don't have to train a retriever to retrieve. You don't have to train a greyhound to run fast. Do you understand that? That is not hard to understand. Come on, pit nutters, you can do it. Try your best. Try to understand. It's very simple. No, they are not like any other dog. In fact, they are extremely unique. And that's the whole point about pit bulls. Aggression, heightened aggression, is bred into them. It's part of their instinct. You don't have to train. That's why they're chosen for fights. Because you don't have to train them. Do you understand that? They put a teddy bear in front of them. Pit bull rips it apart. They don't have to teach the thing to do that. What are you talking about? Like I said, pit bull lovers, stop talking. Just stop. Be quiet. Let other people talk. People who understand what they're talking about. This is shameful stuff. And if I were you, I'd remove this article. Because this is embarrassing. She said, the problem with the information circulating about pit bulls being aggressive is that many dogs who are not pit bulls are labeled as such due to their features. That's not a problem at all. That's a strength. Our ability to see bully breed genetics in dogs, that's not a problem. That's an advantage. And we never make mistakes. Y'all notice every time a pit bull is called out or labeled a pit bull, every single time it actually is a bully breed. Whether or not it's an actual pit bull, that's irrelevant. Do you understand that? It's the bully breed genes that makes them more aggressive, that makes them fight and attack without stopping, bite, hold, shake, to be tenacious, impervious to pain. What is wrong with these people's brains? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? It does not matter if these things are actual pit bulls or not. We don't care. It's irrelevant. The attack is the same, and it's the attacks that we are against. It's the condition in which people are left in. That's what we're fighting against. But of course, they love to cherry pick our arguments and tell us that this is what we are arguing. I'm sick of it, man. Look at how consistent they are. I'm always sharing recent articles with you all. These people work non-stop to put out this propaganda. Non-stop. I'm sick of it, man. Y'all gonna start telling the truth, or you're not gonna say nothing at all. And if you do, you're just going to be made to look exactly how you look, saying stuff like this. Stupid. Uneducated. This makes you sound like a not so bright person. And you're probably not bright enough to have a problem with that. You should have a problem with that. Wow. It's like every sentence. She said, you'll be hard pressed to find someone who has owned a pit bull, affectionately known by their owners as Pibbles, to say anything bad about the dog. We've heard several pit bull owners say they will never own them again. See, this is what you pit bull lovers do. You only focus on other pit bull lovers as if the whole world is made up of pit bull lovers. We've heard people say, I'll never own them again. Look at all these pit bulls that get taken to shelters. What are you talking about? This is people who don't want them no more. Can't even make simple sense. You can't even say one sentence without sounding ridiculous. Mind-blowing stuff. Yeah, I'm sure a pit bull lover wouldn't say nothing bad about a pit bull. Your point? What is that supposed to prove? Hey, what about that lady who just had her babies killed? What about the family of that Amazon driver? What about their owners? Are you just ignoring these people? People who had their kids mauled, who've been mauled themselves? Why are you talking as if these people don't exist? What are you talking about? No, you won't be hard pressed. You'll be hard pressed to find a pit nutter with brains. But I digress. She goes on. She said, aside from some chewed up shoes and being bombarded with kisses while they snuggle in your lap like a Pomeranian, pit bull owners speak highly of the breed. What? So your argument is that all pit bulls are nice dogs and harmless? That can't be your argument. You're arguing that if you raise them with kisses and love, they will never attack anyone. Okay, how did you prove that? What device, what method did you use to prove that every pit bull that has mauled someone was raised with abuse, was mistreated, or trained and taught to fight? How did you find that out? Because based on the reports, and ma'am, I cover dog attacks on this channel. I cover more dog attacks than anywhere else aside from pit bull victim awareness and Dogs Bite. In fact, visit those websites. According to the reports that I see, when people are mauled by one of these things, the owners say it's never shown aggression before. That's the first time. So again, what are you talking about? She goes on. The discrimination against pit bulls seem to have taken an exceptionally long time to turn around. These dogs deserve a chance, just like any other dog. All dogs require responsible humans to train and care for them. Well, why? Train them for what? To not attack people? You're telling on yourself. Oh, well, you just have to train them. Wait a minute. You got to train them to not attack people? Is that what you're saying? What do you got to train them for? You don't have to train other animals. Okay, she said they all require responsible humans to train and care for them. And an entire breed shouldn't get a bad reputation and possible death sentence because a few people decided to be irresponsible. National Pit Bull Awareness Day is October 29th. She actually wrote all of that. Where do you start? Yes, an entire breed should get a bad reputation if that's the reputation that the breed created. And that's exactly what this is. It's, in case you didn't know, it's the pit bulls themselves that actually maul people. All we do is go to the hospital and make record of it. That's not a smear campaign. What are you talking about? And stop with this nonsense that, they're going to be America's top family dog again. They recently did a poll, and it's the results. And they asked, should pit bulls be banned in South Africa? Over 50% said yes. Stop talking as if this planet is full of nothing but dog lovers. Why aren't you embarrassed to talk foolishly like that? That's the real question. How can you read this nonsense that you write and not cringe at yourself? That's the real question. Now let me go over something else here. While I'm talking, while this, she wants to tell us about how pit bulls are angels. I know that her and other pit bull lovers, they're not informed. They are not very informed. Either they're not informed or they are knowingly lying. They know that what they're saying is a lie, and they just keep lying. One or the other, take your pick. But I shared this before, and this is one of the best articles I've ever read. I bookmarked it, and I always refer to it. An article by Phyllis Daugherty. Classic material. Now let me show you what she wrote. And I'm going to share a link to this in the description box. Now, ma'am, all this babbling you did about pit bulls. Listen to this. Pit bulls are quicker to anger than most dogs. They have an unusually high level of the neurotransmitter. Is it L-tyrosine? Did you know that, ma'am, and fellow pit nutters? I invited a bunch of you to this stream. Did y'all know that? No, you didn't, because you don't do any research. You don't research. All you do is look at ads and goofy movies on the dodo. Listen to this. Pit bulls are frighteningly tenacious. Their attacks frequently last for 15 minutes or longer. Stop right there. Stop, because people obviously, pit bull lovers, you have to go slow with them. Step by step. You can't move too fast. You have to stop and make sure they understand, or else they'll just get confused. Their attacks frequently last for 15 minutes or longer. Pit nutters, that's because it's a pit bull or bully breed / bully breed. Their attacks last for a very long time because they are bully breeds. It's breed specific behavior. That's what they were bred for. To attack and not stopping. Do you understand that? I hope you understand that. I hope you try to understand that and stop talking crazy. And nothing, hoses, violent blows, or kicks can easily stop pit bulls when they are attacking. That's breed specific. That is a characteristic of its breed. Do you understand that? That's because of the third behavioral anomaly, the breed's remarkable insensitivity to pain. This too has to do with brain chemistry. Its insensitivity to pain is because they're bully breeds. That is also breed specific. So what I'm doing right now is I'm explaining the traits of higher aggression. I'm explaining to you, or at least trying to, of exactly how pit bulls are more dangerous than other dogs. And I know pit nutters, you're confused. But let's continue. The show must go on. The body of the pit bull releases endorphins as a natural painkiller. Pit bulls seem extra sensitive to endorphins and may generate higher levels of the chemical than other dogs. So all doggies are not the same. I know y'all see those ads on the ASPCA, mutt sitting there looking sad, and you just believe whatever you read. That's not how life works. In this world, you have to understand something, especially if you want to write about it. The nerve of anybody to write entire articles about pit bulls and not knowing jack squat about pit bulls, that is alarming. Endorphins are also addictive. The article continues. The dogs may be junkies, seeking pain so they can get the endorphin buzz that they crave. According to October 2021 medical report, L-tyrosine and tyrosine is described as particularly important in the production of, what is this? Epinephrine? All right, which is adrenaline. And whatever this word is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But these are the chemicals released in the dog's brain when it attacks. When these things attack, their brains release feel-good chemicals on top of opioids, which is another feel-good chemical. Endorphins, opioid, dopamine, epinephrine. This is unique to its breed. Do you understand, nutters, what I'm trying to tell you? You can't argue that these things are no different from other dogs. The facts have been out here for years, for decades. So all you're doing is writing articles, getting on camera, talking dumb, sounding very ignorant. Dopamine Addicts is posted by Mango Dogs and states, these dogs I call the dope seekers or dope addicts. These dogs are very easily overstimulated. Again, that's because of its breed. Your dog, your pit bulls, your bully breeds, they are not like all other dogs. Look at what it says. The moment pit bulls walk out of the front door, they are scanning the perimeter, the vicinity, for something to fixate on. They are pulling like a freight train and losing their minds when they see dogs, animals, and sometimes people too, particularly children. And that's with all dogs. The smaller the child, the more eager they are to maul the child. I don't want to hear nothing. I've shown the video footage. It's irrefutable. These owners need to understand what their dog is before they can fix the problem. They need to understand what their dog is, period. A lot of these pit nutters, they watched a cartoon and that motivated them to get a pit bull. They are just brain dead. They are dumb as a wall. Oh, I'll just give it some kisses and hugs and it won't be violent. Your dog is a dopamine junkie, neurotransmitter. Dopamine activates the pleasure-seeking cortex in the dog's mind. Dopamine is extremely addictive. On top of that, as I mentioned, they will not stop their attack. They can't. It's like they can't stop. Every time you try to stop a pit bull from attacking, it just keeps attacking. That's because of its breed. That's a breed-specific behavior. Does that even matter to you? Do you not even consider that? Do you not even consider the facts that have been proven about bully breeds compared to other dogs? What is wrong with these people's brains? Now, again, I reference to this all the time, and I'm going to share it again. I'll leave a link in the description box. I'll also go ahead and post a link again in the chat room. This is a list of dozens of doctors who are explaining that pit bulls cause far more damage and they should be banned. Doctors, dozens of doctors have said this. Ma'am, what information are you relying on? What is your source? What is your source? It can't get any more credible than this. So let's stop talking crazy, pit nutters. You're only embarrassing yourselves on Pit Bull Awareness Month. And I guess tomorrow is Pit Bull Awareness Day. So I'm going to have a nice video going for tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to celebrate that. Stop talking crazy, pit bull lovers. Stop writing these goofy articles, making yourself sound totally uneducated. I mean, this is pretty ridiculous. Nobody has anything against pit bulls because of how they look. Do y'all understand that? The critics of pit bulls, none of them simply have a problem with the appearance of pit bulls. Every criticism that we have has to do with its behavior. It has to do with how deadly it is, how different their attacks are compared to other dogs. It's very simple. Yeah, excellent website. Now there is a, now I shared this as I digress. How many of y'all seen this? I think I tweeted it, and I may have posted it in the community section. And I pointed out that a long time ago, our narrative is going to be regurgitated in mainstream media. This is from the Telegraph. This was published today. Dogs get on my nerves. There, I've said it. Having a canine companion is all well and good, but are some of us are taking it too far. So there's a typo in the Telegraph. Way to go, Jack Rear. Of course they're taking it too far. They're far too gone in the wrong direction at this point. So that's the Telegraph. We're not a bunch of loners. These media outlets, these journalists, they hear us and they know that we have a powerful argument, really irrefutable. We don't sit up in La La Land, in fantasy land, making up statistics, which is what Pitbull, making up facts, pulling stuff out of thin air. No, we just stick to the facts. Now, there was another pit bull lover who came out and said a whole bunch of goofy things. How many of y'all been keeping up with the news? It's crazy right now. Somebody shot a dog 50 times with a pellet gun. Yeah, some people out here, they're fed up. They're completely fed up. Here it is. At least I think this is it. And this article actually surfaced a couple days ago. They're doing this campaign right now for pit bulls. This is Pit Bull Month. And this month, we've heard about some horrific attacks. So they're putting these articles out to sort of distract people, take their attention away from these horrible maulings. But it's a waste of time. Yes, these are weapons. Essentially, in a nutshell, weapons with a mind of their own. Man, oh man. This movement to convince the public to adopt these worthless mutants skyrocketed after the Michael Vick conviction. They were taken by Best Friends Animal Society for placement in carefully selected households. And they figured out that they could make money, a lot of money, out of promoting these things as family dogs. Because after the Michael Vick, the ownership of these things skyrocketed like never seen before. And the pit bull lobby, they got high. They got a buzz off the money, off the profit. A lot of misinformation out here, but it's not coming from us. It's coming from these pit bull lovers. And all I ask is a simple question. What's wrong with their brains? Don't let your brain go to waste like this. It's pretty ridiculous. Now, what is this? Okay, yeah, this is that article that I was talking about. Excellent article. Let me share a link to this. And I want all you pit bull lovers, read this. Everything that I post, when I share links, read it. Y'all clearly are not educated on pit bulls, on dogs in general. And I just don't get it. There is misinformation out here, but it's not coming from us. It's coming from you. These goofy excuses that sound more and more bizarre the more you learn and study, the more you know about pit bulls, the crazier pit bull supporters sound. How many of y'all heard about this? This surfaced yesterday. Somebody's grandmother killed a dog, a pit bull, with a kitchen knife. Right? Bravo. Shouldn't have had it in the first place. But wow, somebody's grandmother killed it with a kitchen knife after it latched on to her daughter's arm. Okay. Do you see? They don't even point out that this was a pit bull. But we already know it was a bully breed because of the nature of the attack. It latched onto her arm, and I read somewhere that it wouldn't let go. That's bully breed behavior. So what are y'all talking about that these things are no different from any other dog? It's always the same talking points. That pit bulls are no different. Banning pit bulls does not make the community safer. That's the most infuriating one right there. If they're willing to say that, then they're willing to say that banning all dogs and exterminating all dogs will not reduce dog attacks. They're dumb enough to say that as well. You might as well say it. If you're going to say that banning bully breeds will not make communities safer. And you notice none of them are dumb enough to try to explain why that is. Now, this article surfaced a few hours ago, not even a day ago. Right? This one surfaced 7 hours ago. Now, there's some sensitive images on here. As a matter of fact, I better restrict this for 18 and over, because I have to show these injuries. There are some very disturbing injuries. Okay, again, this surfaced just a few hours ago. Okay, I need to restrict the ages. Where we at? Okay. I have to do it later. So this is a 17-year-old who was mauled in White River. Okay, warning, not for sensitive readers. Okay. 17-year-old. That's a big boy. He was no match. Suffered more than 40 lacerations and cuts. He was minding his business as always. 2 large Rottweilers attacked him. And then a third came out of nowhere and joined in. This is the victim. Okay, Rottweilers are bully breeds. He was dragged to the ground, mutilated, but he eventually escaped. He was able to escape. Now, had this been a child, it would have been unlikely that the child survived. Okay, some pretty bad lacerations and scarring here. So I thought you said that pit bulls are all about kisses and hugs. I know they Rottweilers. I don't care. Bully breeds are bully breeds in my book. What happened to all this nonsense about how the only thing they know how to do is lick your face and give you their paw? This is madness. This boy is lucky to be alive. Crazy stuff. What's going on here? The reputation of pit bulls is not getting better. It's getting worse. I don't know what planet these people are living on. Their reputation is not being enhanced right now. It's being diminished by their own behavior. This has nothing to do with propaganda. These things are simply too dangerous. Too dangerous. And if I can help it, these bans that have been removed will be replaced. And in places where bans have never been, they will be. This game of trying to ignore how dangerous pit bulls are, this has gone on for far too long. You know, it's time for people to get serious. This is not a game. I don't want to hear nothing about how, oh, it's wrong to discriminate based on how it looks. Right? That's their talking point. Oh, just because it looks a certain way. Let me show y'all something else crazy that some nutter wrote somewhere. It doesn't stop. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can share my notepad. Because I had to sort of take it out, screenshot certain portions of it. Oh, I can. Here's my notepad right here. That's beautiful. I don't know if I hope y'all can see this. Dogs targeted as pit bulls are in fact typically mixed breed dogs. There you go again, the same goofy talking point. We don't care. Pit bull bans are nebulous since the community doesn't even really know what it is banning. Again, irrelevant. You know, people have lost an argument when they continue to say the same failed things over and over. And this doesn't even make sense. It's not even practical or logical for people to only want pit bulls banned and not the breeds, not the mixed breeds. Of course, we're including the mixed breeds and whatever type of bully they are. We don't care. Where did that come from? Where did this argument come from that we're specifically talking about pit bulls? Get out of here with that. Goofy. It is not banning a breed, but instead banning dogs with a certain look or phenotype. Exactly right. Yeah, that's bang on. You're spot on with that. That's exactly what it is. They're saying it like it's a negative thing. No, that's exactly what we want. Don't focus on the dogs that are technically pit bulls. Get rid of all of the bully breeds. Their crosses, their mixes. Get them out of here. Nutters, y'all gonna know our stance, our position, our argument before I'm done with this YouTube thing. I'm sick of y'all making up these goofy arguments and trying to claim that they're our arguments. No, they're your goofy arguments. That's why they're goofy. They ain't coming from us. Talking points like this not coming from the intelligent class. And look what it said. A ban based on looks seems wrong on any level, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't seem wrong. I don't know what are y'all talking about? It's intelligent. That's what it is. Because you know that there's a bunch of people who saying, look, I don't care what your stupid technicalities are. Get rid of all of those blockheaded dogs. All of those blockheaded, muscular dogs, get them out of here. That way you pit nutters can't cling onto some goofy talking point talking about, oh, it's not technically a pit bull, it's a Staffordshire. Shut up and get rid of all of them. No, a band based on how they look does not seem wrong. Not at all whatsoever. Next. Sorry about that. I actually minimized my thing here. Now, I forgot where this came from. Where'd this come from? Some nutter website somewhere. Said, also, the ban assumes all dogs with the look are potentially dangerous based on the actions of what? No. You see, y'all see what I'm talking about? How these people try to make our arguments for us. That's why the arguments are so weak and vulnerable, because they create them. Yeah, a ban that assumes that a blockheaded muscular mutt is dangerous, that's smart. There's nothing dumb about that. That's exactly what we're doing. Nutters. Goofballs, man. Say, I don't ever make light of a dog bite, but it's a fact. More people are treated in hospitals for falling out of bed than for dog bites. What? What? This is what I'm talking about. The disrespect, the inhumanity, the disrespect. It's just off the meters. Now, since they said that, I'm about to look it up. Because who in the world looks up statistics like that? Falling out of bed? When does a person look like Jacalyn Duran after falling out of a bed? This lady was almost killed, and her 2 babies were killed. When has falling out of a bed ever yielded those results? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, nutters? You don't know. Y'all just babble. You specialize in babbling and pulling things out of thin air. That is so disrespectful. As for seriousness of dog bites, hospital emergency rooms report over 92% to be no injury and less than 1% moderate to nutter. Around 800,000 people every year need emergency care treatment. Emergency care, that means they've been injured and they need treatment. 800,000. You can't minimize that. When you talk about reconstructive surgeries, those are when people need stitches, they have a gash, open wound, they need something put back together. You're talking between 20 and 30,000 each year. You can't minimize that. I don't care if that only represents 2% of the population. I don't care what percent of the population that accounts for. That's too many people. And the fact that it's 800,000 year after year, you're talking about millions upon millions of people being attacked and needing emergency care treatment. Millions upon millions of people. Life don't revolve around 1 year. If you get through this year without being attacked by a dog, good for you. That might not happen the next year. Do you understand that? You understand what I'm saying? Stop trying to minimize dog attack statistics, and keep in mind, around 5 million reported dog bites every year in the United States. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So after 5 years, you have about 25 million reported dog bites. Generally, the same people are not being bitten. Do you understand how quickly that accounts for almost the entire population? I don't know how long dogs live on average. What is it, 10, 15 years? Multiply 10, 15 years by 5 million to get an idea of the likelihood or the average of dog bites throughout a dog's lifetime. Most dogs are going to bite someone during its lifetime. Very few dogs live an entire lifetime without biting someone. I shared the statistic a while ago where this woman, this expert, said about 50% of all children in the United States will be bitten by a dog before their 13th birthday. So don't talk to me about no statistics that you're trying to minimize. That is alarming statistics. When monitoring dog bite related fatalities, the CDC decided years ago to stop tracking the breed involved because many guessed wrong about what the breed. Here we go with this stupid talking point again. Oh, it's being mislabeled. That's not actually a bully breed or a pit bull. They're always a bully breed. But because it's not technically a pit bull, they view that as, grounds to make pit bulls legal. I mean, what's the point in bringing that up anyways? So because they're not technically pit bulls, they should be legal? Do you think that's what we're trying to say? No. It's the same bully breed, block-headed, muscular mutant. You think that we're trying to say, oh, it's not a pit. We don't care. You know full well we're talking about all these worthless mutts. See, their arguments are always in bad faith. Now look at it. It continues. Stop tracking. Blah, blah, blah. And what matters most anyways is what prompted a dog to attack and the reasons for the attack. Huh? Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there. These mutants never have a reason. They never have a reason for attacking. Especially when you talk about pit bulls. They attack because they love to kill and attack. That's exactly why they mutilate toys when you give it to them. They squeal. They make noises. That noise that those toys make when bitten, it registers in the mutt's brain as prey, crying in pain. The experts tell you if you're being attacked by a dog, don't scream, because your screams will cause the dog to attack more ferociously. So these things they have an instinct to kill, maul, and mutilate. So what is this dude talking about? This is madness. They don't have reasons for attacking. What are you talking about? Dogs with a certain look or phenotype are, as a group, called pit bulls. Today, a result of genetic testing, we know they are mostly merely mixed breed dogs. This person is still going on this talking point. Oh, they're not technically the dogs that are called pit bulls in the media. They're not really pit bulls. They're a different bully breed. You know, when people going off on a tangent like this, most of them know that what they're saying is, they know that their arguments are in bad faith, and they know that we don't care, and they know that it doesn't matter. If you were to ban pit bulls, these pit bull lovers wouldn't care, because they just get one of the mixes. They get one of the bully breeds, the other bully breeds. But they want to play dumb now when we talk about banning them. And right or wrong, he continued, good or bad, there are an awful lot of them. Saying an awful lot of mixed breeds. Okay, he's saying there's an awful lot of mixed breeds. And people, this is the weakest possible argument that anybody could ever make. It really is. Arguably, they are today's all-American dog. It may be these dogs called pit bulls are the most common in America, but you are considering banning or placing restrictions among dogs who share a certain look or type. Because a dog looks a certain way, it's assumed that the dog may be dangerous. It's an assumption based without a single shred of evidence. What? They actually wrote this. I'm trying to figure out where I got this from, because I want to find the name of this individual who wrote this babble. Who wrote this foolishness? Here it is right here. I found it. You nutters can't hide from us. You can't hide from us. We're going to find you. That came from this article right here. When was this published? Does it have a date? Does it have a date? I guess there's no date. Now, I think I just passed him. Right here, Steve Dale. Isn't that right? Now, where's the date? That's weird. Does anybody see the date? Am I missing it? Let me reduce the size of this. Okay, bear with me here. What kind of article don't have a date? Wow, that's horrible. Okay. Well, that's irrelevant. I want y'all to look at this. Look at all this text. Look at all this. People, when people start babbling like this, it's usually a con. Look at the title. Why Montreal's pit bull ban won't reduce dog bites. Y'all see the con right there? I know. Do y'all see the con right there? Why Montreal's pit bull ban won't reduce bites. Who said that it would? Nobody said that it would reduce bites. And that said, it may very well reduce bites. You don't know. But who is trying to argue that banning pit bulls will reduce bites? They always focus on the number of dog bites. They never get into the severity of the attacks because they know that pit bulls inflict far more damage. Just like all of these doctors explain. I don't want to hear your little goofy argument. I got dozens of doctor testimonies that back what I'm saying. Spare us your goofy, brainless, thoughtless, pit nutter arguments. Just shut up. I don't want to hear it. You all know that these things inflict more damage. You all know that they have a unique attack style. Bite, hold, shake, never stop, never cease the attack. Immune to pain. These things launch prolonged attacks. Other dogs attack. It lasts for a brief moment. Really, generally less than 1 minute with other dogs. It can still inflict a lot of damage in that time. And some of those other dogs will launch a prolonged attack, which is why all dogs are dangerous and should be banned. But with pit bulls, it's always the same type of attack. Bite, hold, shake, bite in different areas of the body. They will let go and bite down again extremely quickly. That is why so many victims have hundreds of bites on their body. And their meat, their muscle, flesh is ripped clean from the bone. Sometimes their bones are crushed. They all know that these things inflict far more damage, and they avoid dealing with that like the plague. And this is the person who wrote that nonsense. All you nutters are going to get it this month. This is Pit Bull Awareness Month. And I'm going to make you nutters aware. Make you aware of us. The people who have done research on you and your nasty, evil culture. You're not the bully here. You've all enjoyed your time in the sun, going around trying to shame people who want safe communities, trying to shame people who are disappointed by the fact they can't let their kids go to the playground. You're not going to shame people who are having their freedoms taken away from them anymore. Nutters, it's the moment of truth, the moment of justice. Shout out to Master H in the super chat. I heard that, yeah, falling out of bed. Master H said, I'd rather fall out of bed any day than to get mauled. It's like, how dare you insult us? That's insulting. How dare you compare being attacked by a pit bull with falling out of the bed? Are you really that dumb? That's why you can't even really have a honest debate with these people. When they're saying things like that, you can't have an honest debate with these people. They can't even be honest and straightforward. When you have someone who's not willing to acknowledge facts, who act like they have no understanding of common sense and logic, don't waste your time. The only way I'll waste my time debating someone like that is if they have really strong credentials. Caesar. And people, make no mistake. Once we become popular enough, these people are going to have to respond to us because the pit bull lovers are going to want someone to refute us. They're going to be under a lot of pressure by the general public of pit bull owners to respond to some of us. So it's only a matter of time. And pit nutters, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. And I'm going to invite you on the show, and we're going to be moderated, where you have a certain amount of time, then I have a certain amount of time. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Like I said, y'all time in the sun is over. Now, this young lady who wrote this vile, disgusting article, I invited you to this live stream. Okay? Jacalyn Wetzel, I invited you to the live stream. If you disagree with any of my disagreements with you, please share. And don't get emotional. Share facts, logic. Facts, logic. Now, you want to talk about being hard pressed. You're going to be hard pressed to make a sound, solid argument in defense of these things. Pit bulls should be banned and exterminated in all countries all around the world. It is the height of irresponsibility to push these things off as family pets, especially when we can't even get through 3 days without hearing about somebody who had their throat ripped out, face torn off, child mauled, baby mutilated, tortured, 2-year-olds, 5-month-olds, newborns. These are crimes of the highest magnitude, people. The worst types of crimes on this planet is to torture a flipping baby. To torture, slowly bleed, and kill a 2-year-old. And these people, these pit bull advocates, are hesitant to even acknowledge these types of attacks. No more. That 800,000 people per year who need emergency care treatment, 50% of those are children 13 and under, and that includes babies. Don't sit here and try to tell me that 400,000 kids getting mauled is no big deal. Don't dare fix your lips to try to tell me even that 10,000 reconstructive surgeries on kids alone is no big deal, not something to be concerned about. Don't even tell me that 20 to 25 deaths of kids per year is nothing to worry about. Don't you dare try to minimize something like that. Which proves y'all have no humanity inside of you. Because if you did, you wouldn't do that. You'd never minimize the torturing and killing of a few dozen children. What kind of sick world is this? I'm waiting on you, pit nutters. This is Pit Bull Awareness Month. And I'm sitting here showing my fangs. Come over here. What do y'all have to say? Y'all get in here and take up for your pit bulls. We're ready to pounce on you. Y'all have created a bunch of monsters, and we want blood. You're not going to be reckless out here putting out misinformation and enjoy the freedom of not being called out on it. Those days are over. Shout out to everybody. able to join me. I hope you all are having a lovely Friday. Hope y'all have something constructive planned for this weekend. What are y'all getting into? What's going on this weekend? Is there anything going on? Trick or treat. Now, I don't even keep up with when is Halloween. Did it pass yet? I'm telling you people, I don't even know when Halloween is. Let me see. Yeah, this is bad. I have to Google the date Halloween. Okay, when is it? October 31st? Oh boy. It's the last day of the month? I didn't know that. Halloween. I think it changes. Like every year it falls on a different day, if I'm not mistaken. October 31st? I didn't know that. Listen, all you young people, look out for the dogs. You go up to someone's home, you knock on the door, you hear a dog barking, walk away. Because a lot of these nutters, they're just waiting for that opportunity to open the door and have their dog pounce on you. They get off on it. Y'all be careful out here. It seems like every Halloween we hear about dog attacks. Just Google trick-or-treating dog attack. They're always being attacked. And it's so dangerous. What a dangerous, I'm going to be listening to the media. I want to hear somebody say something, some journalist somewhere say something about safety protocol in regard to dogs specifically. Now, as we all know, whenever something positive, they point out dog, 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 dog. When something negative, oh, an animal, animal, animal. So keep your eyes out, your ears peeled for any of their code language. And stay safe. And anything you think of, any type of story, anything you go through, share it with us. Because I'm going through and I'm reading some crazy stories being left by a lot of people. Fascinating stuff that I want to eventually get into. Right? And big shout out to everybody who leaves. One of the strong points of my channel is that I get a lot of responses. Like a large percentage of the people who listen to the videos say something. They respond, they react in some way. Usually by a comment. Right? I value that very much. It all serves as more ammunition in this war, in this crusade. And we will win. Shout out to everybody able to join me. And I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.